Alright, here we are in the semifinals of the Frank, Algo, and Beowulf map contest. This will be a best of 5 series. It is an infernal mirror played out here by frequent competitors. This is msrm. And his opponent, Snoxtar. And as I mentioned, they are frequent competitors. I'm sure they play a lot on the ladder, but they also meet each other very often in tournaments over the last year of early access, at least since I've been covering it. And I will say, msrm has won some of those series, definitely won many games. But I think out of the two of them, more matches, more series, more tournament titles have gone to Snoxtar. But in today's tournament, msrm had the higher MMR. We seeded by MMR. And so he has the higher seed today. And we see from msrm Shrine into Vault Conclave. And it looks like the same thing for Snoxtar, although Snoxtar's third base a little bit later than msrm. Whose is already almost half done here. Ritual chamber behind this, literally behind. I've started putting my tech way in the back too. That's just following what I used to do as a Zerg, but also, you know, it's just kind of what else do you need that building for? It doesn't need to be out front. It doesn't produce units. If you put it out front, it becomes at higher risk of being sniped. It could be out front to be part of a wall off if that was something you were looking for. But Infernal's less inclined to do that. Or if you are inclined to do it, pardon me, you're inclined to maybe wall like this. Maybe make it as part of a wall around your miners, so that if someone's dropping you or something or run buying you, it's just harder to get in there, or they get caught on the SimCity. A couple of Scout Fiends out for Snoxtar. Find this fourth base. msrm being greedy here. Seeing the third base is already up. And his own third base, yeah, is up and also mining. Or mining.
Dimensional rift detected. A Stormgate will activate soon.
In the economy. And Snoxtar lining up and getting ready. I like this. Oh, he's going to the healer. Now it's too full. Oh, there are Gaunts. The Gaunts win the day for sure.
A Stormgate has appeared.
2 full fiends versus 2 not full fiends. But the Gaunts win the day. I love how msrm's like, maybe I can even risk this and try and snipe a Gaunt. Here come his own Gaunts. And okay, good control from Snoxtar to get back. And now we're talking Gaunt versus Gaunt. Fiends start going down. Not clear to see who's winning here. I do think that msrm might have a little advantage here, although he's starting to lose Gaunts with one Brew on top of his Gaunts. And he lost a couple Gaunts and Phantoms coming out now. This is only good news for Snoxtar. Unfortunately about these mirrors, early on little battles like that can start changing everything. Luckily, these Phantoms will die on their own eventually, but there they go, get taken out. They run out. And Snoxtar retreats with it. We did just watch Snoxtar play Wallace, where at times at least he was quite passive and played back with his army. Maybe we'll see that here. Or production being added. This is a nice spot with lots of Therium, but you really got to put down way more. Like, look how far away the Therium is. Makes you wish you were Celestial so you could just mine it. We don't even need a base there. Twilight Spire. And do we see a Spire going down for Snoxtar? Snoxtar is researching his root upgrades, his Infernal Fury, and it looks like Soulbrand Chakrams or maybe Reaper's Rush. My guess is it's probably Reaper's Rush, yes. Which gives them speed, of course. And we have a queued up Magmadon upgrades. Right behind that, Demon Hoof Tremors, which give them the stun ability when they do their stompy stomp. This is what I was talking about. You kind of need another base. I think Snoxtar's kind of got this figured out. There we go, another base from msrm2. Why did he have it rallied there and not over to the close one? That's bizarre. But I don't really like his positioning of these production buildings here. I think Snoxtar has a better idea here. Put this base in the middle, although he could put it close to one and far from the other. I don't know. This base almost done. And still, yeah, should, okay, change the rally.
Dimensional rift detected.
I was concerned. I'm like, msrm, I need to check your rally for you. Need to make sure you're rallying to the right Ethereum. I don't want you to... You invented the Mushroom Shrine, man. You better know how to use it properly. This base going down. Well, we're also seeing a couple of here ready to do this one. Stormgate way out here could be in an advantageous position for msrm. Dropship. Did I miss a drop? It looks damaged. Snoxtar decides he's going to come and go for the Stormgate. Here come a couple brutes. I don't think... Oh, they're going to try and get the Faerun, and I do like that. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, nice pickup by the Harbinger. Saves the Hullborn's life. Lots of Gaunts here, whereas it's mostly brutes over here for Snoxtar. And the Faerun, she goes down because she's a little too slow. Speaking of slow, the Magmadons and Hellborn are kind of slow. They get outpaced by the Reapers rushing Gaunts, the speedy brutes. What do we got in here? 2 mags. msrm's got his, what's that, 6th base now? And 5th base up for Snoxtar, but I don't see a 5th base yet. Void Prowlers. So it looked like msrm was going for his 7th base there. But Snoxtar denied it with his Void Prowlers. Spriggans added. We saw this versus Wallace in the quarterfinals. The Spriggans actually helped him win game 1, I believe it was. And there's a little strike force here for msrm that gets spotted because he ran right past the effigy. And he's doing a full-on retreat, but that also allowed him to scout out the Spriggans. He didn't know already. There are Spriggans, and there's a pretty big air force here. Shadow Flyers, Spriggans, Dragon. And is there a dragon of his own? Doesn't look like. Just a lot of Shadow Flyers and Gaunts, which could do pretty well against this actually. And they're going in the back. They're going for the flank. Getting on
Dimensional
top of the
rift
Hellborn.
detected. A Stormgate
Oh
will
wow, this
activate
can be
soon.
pretty good. Magmadon's jumping in, but there's just a super conclave for Snoxtar. The Magmadon's just walking along the front line, back and forth, but not getting done as much as they need to. Look at all those phantoms. So
A
many
Stormgate has appeared.
on top of the Hellborn now. There's nothing Hellborns can do in this. They can walk, but they will be dead. Shadow Flyer's trying to get in there, but Snoxtar has the advantage. I don't want to say he's got the win here because we know how strong the defender's advantage can be. There is now a dragon out for MSRM, but for the minute at least, MSRM is back on his heels. He does kill the dragon of Snoxtar. Now his dragon is actually at risk. We got the pursuit of Gaunts and Sprigs, pretty much everything he's got. And the dragon is dead. Does that mean that MSRM is dead? I think it's very possible. But MSRM is definitely going to stay in this. He starts with some Flame Imps. Really nice impacts from the Flame Imps actually, but Flame Imps aren't going to be able to do anything against the flock of Spriggans that just flew in here. A few Gaunts show up to help with that. Need some more Shadow Flyers probably. But we get GG from MSRM in game number 1. Alright, here we are. This is game number 2, played out on Ember Frost. Again, one of our winning maps from the map contest. And once again, in the blue, this is Snoxtar. His opponent, MSRM. A mushroom. Who starts with a nice little mushroom shrine. I call it mushroom because it's like it's tucked up over by the Ethereum a little bit. It's just maybe one square over, it looks like. Means the Ethereum's going to mine just a little quicker there. There was a time where Ethereum mining was so important to the Infernal that you had to just like find ways to hog it and get it going. But since they've rebalanced the Luminite and Ethereum costs of some of our higher tech units, the Magmadons and Hellborns in particular, it's balanced out a little bit more and you can have sort of a more normal economy, it feels like. Both of them opening with expansions and into 2 production, both of them doing the very similar builds. We can see the timing here in the production tab. It's very, very, very similar timings. That just suggests that they're doing pretty much identical builds. We have an Imp here, ready for a third base for Snoxtar. Imp here for MSRM, like literally 2 or 3 seconds difference in that build. So again, if you're practicing builds, you're thinking about builds here. What did they do? They did Shrine first, into a Vault Conclave, into a 3rd Shrine. And for Snoxtar, it's been go quickly then into Ritual Chamber. The first 100, go to Ritual Chamber. But for MSRM, it's maybe not gathered so much Ethereum. Where is he gathering Ethereum? Down here where he had his Mushroom Shrine, of course, and he's only got 3 imps on it. Whereas we've got, 3 up here. Okay, only 3. He chose not to go for the Ritual Chamber. What did he build? Now he's getting his Ritual Chamber a little bit late. Or rather, yeah, now he is. Where is he getting that? Oh, it's right up there. And he's going for his Hellforge at the same time. But he's got a 4th base a little earlier. We do have a 4th base from Snoxtar too. So just a little build analysis here.
Dimensional rift detected.
Very similar builds with slight variations. It means that the Soulbrand Chakrams, the curse, the plague axes is what they used to be called, for our Gaunts is now ready for Snoxtar. He has a window here.
Has appeared.
He might not know it. That research is very quick, so we can see here it's going to be finished very rapidly for MSRM as well. But that is what we call like a timing, right? If you know that you're a little ahead, your build order is about 30 or 40 seconds ahead of the meta, you might be able to have a little window there where you can attack. This map's pretty large, and I don't think that was the intention of Snoxtar's build. He wasn't thinking, I'm going to go for a Soul Branch Shockroom timing. That's just not a thing in the meta right now. However, he did have that little window. And both of them starting their Infernal Fury here, also very within seconds, meaning again, not going to be a huge charge timing coming out for either of them. And what's that? The Shadow Mark, which can be in a game like this a really good one. If he pops it here, it can improve his upgrades as well. Often when I get the Shadow Mark, I'm like, boom, put down a couple more production in the range so I can boost it all. He does have his Twilight Spire here too. Where is he sending it? In his main? That doesn't seem right to me. This seemed like the better choice with the upgrade buildings. But who am I? I'm just a wee caster casting my opinions into the nether. Take them or leave them. And of course, what this does do is it'll boost how quickly these buildings build. I think this building is actually building faster. Construction speed. Cannot be dispelled. But also it's recharge and production speed. Well, for the Infernals, that's recharge. So its recharge rates, all four of these buildings rather, is faster, including imp production from the shrine. Now I don't see a fifth. There we go. Yeah, potential fifth base coming up here. But at the same time, a drop coming down is going to see the, oh, right as the base gets created, drop comes down and is like, maybe I can kill that. Going for the farm, which will slow down. And boom, okay. Gets picked up, but Shadow Flyers are going to be chasing down the Harbinger. The Harbinger has teleport. It lands. There's still 3 Shadow Flyers, and they get taken out.
Dimensional rift detected. A Stormgate will activate soon.
This was pretty good, but msrm is now caught chasing that around, and the units get out of it and rejoin the army. And now msrm's army is pinned in here. He has to run past and take a lot of damage on his way out, losing a few brutes. He's trying to retreat back, but to where and to what? He does have reinforcements here, and now it's maybe his turn to get a little bit of a flank going on here. In the back here, there are not a lot of units for Snoxtar, but he's committed to kill that base and chase off the units with the Magmadons. Magmadons basically just being a zoning tool there, which they often are, saying, if you want to engage me, I'm going to trample you. And it was a ton of gaunts there for msrm. If he sat there and took the tramples, he was going to die. Gaunts are just squishy. Even though they're not heavy and they're not taking bonus damage from the tramples, they are squish. They will get squished under those hooves, those demon hoofs. Alright, so Stormgate easily captured by Snoxtar here. This is what, tier 2 Stormgate. We got the little Skurian Void Prowlers out. And the army's gonna catch them. msrm has his Spriggans this time. We just have the Blood Tree added for Snoxtar, which I think was a reaction to seeing the Spriggans on the map. Now supply-wise, they're fairly close. But it's a dragon up above for msrm. Taking some damage from the chakrams of the gaunts in the back. But the front line's just chewing into each other right now. Weaver's up at the front doing that extra damage. One of them goes down. Second one down. Lots of extra Hellborn story here. Some Gaunt going down. Hellborn gonna go down. These other Hellborn, oh no, they're gonna get zoned out. Dragon shows up, takes a bunch of shots and goes down. And now the Hellborn trying to stay alive, but they're getting focus fired. Magmadons zone away the army. And a few last Fiends and Phantoms get cleaned up. And msrm's going to try and soak up some of those healing juices for a second. Although, wants to chase down the army that looks vulnerable. But maybe wise enough to know not to attack up that ramp where reinforcements were waiting. msrm does have the advantage right now, supply-wise, a wee bit. Trying to get this base down, but Snoxtar's not going to let him. He's going to deny that. And once again, that means Snoxtar extending himself into a position.
Dimensional rift detected. A Stormgate will activate
he might
soon.
be able to get flanked here. Huge tramples coming in from Magmadons. Doing their best not to get overextended themselves. While this small army over here is going to try and take out the base. Looks like the Air Force maybe got the dragon too. Single Magmadon over here gets taken out. More Magmadons trampling down into the army. Taking a lot of damage, but also just squishing a bunch of Gaunts. Reinforcements over here. Despite taking like kind of poor trades, Snoxtar is still able to kind of remax up here. Or rebuild his army, not max it, but rebuild his army. And is only about 25 to 30 behind in supply. Going for the Stormgate. But msrm thinking the same thing. Ford pushes the army back. Nice tramples into the army. Some really good stuns there. More tramples. And this is looking like a ground victory, at least for msrm. Here come the Spriggans for msrm. That might help with against the Spriggans of Snoxtar. Get them trample up. Also lure the enemy by pulling back like that. He basically lured Snoxtar into grouping up his units again. That's one of the risks of the large control groups or all army queue. I don't think Snoxtar is pumping all army. But when you control your whole group at once, they tend to box up. Nice concave there from msrm. And for the moment, oh, is he going to get it in time? No! So, regardless of what happened there in terms of trades, Snoxtar was able to prevent that from being captured. So nice little turn there in the middle of the map here on Emberfrost. And we're regrouping again to see who can win that next battle. Actually, it looks like msrm might be trying to circle around. He's got, what? Some Shroud Stones over here. Now this is a curious play because he knows building Shroud Stones there is going to lure the army over to deal with it. Is that his intention? Because his own army was heading that way. Huge Shadowfire play here. Dragon's taken out. But so are the Gaunts. Not sure where did that other dragon die. I think it may have. Trample, 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 trample. Even for these low mags. Mags are fun AoE when you actually get to connect with them. Hellborn in the back dealing with a few reinforcing brutes. Flame imps.
Dimensional rift detected. A Stormgate will activate soon.
Huge Magmadon stomps there, getting on top of Hellborns and squishing them. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Another Hellborn shows up, able to put some fireballs onto the Magmadon and try and deal with them.
A Stormgate has appeared.
Real nice sort of reinforcement line showing up. More Hellborn at risk here as Brutes and Spriggans get on top of them, but just in time, Spriggans and Shadow Flyers show up, and the Hellborn at least preserve themselves for now. How's this base doing? It is dead, and so is Snoxtar. GG. Like, yes, we're in game number 3. Couple bruiser games already. Couple big longer ones. And that puts us 1-1. We're down to a best of 3. Once again, this is MSRM. This map is a little bright in certain spots. Oh, the brightness is over there on the left. I thought I could zoom up. His opponent, playing red, it's Snoxtar. Let's keep an eye on these builds again. Go Shrine into Vault, into Conclave. So we're sort of watching the order here. We're at 10. So it was 11 Shrine, 11 Vault, 11 Conclave. I think, if you're a build order aficionado. I'm trying to study this because I play Infernal and I haven't played enough ladder games to get my build done yet. So I practiced this 11 Shrine. 11 Shrine kind of feels okay. Two Fiends already arrived. They're being jerks. So we must have had a Vault burst from Snoxtar. I wasn't looking at his build. His Shrine's still building. And this Conclave, the Fiends get chased off. Conclave is low at 200. And it will, I believe, generate 2 hit points per second. So we're looking at 400 seconds, 5 or 6 minutes before this is at full. So that means these Fiends or a small strike force could go in and snipe it. For the moment, msrm has got his army right there, which is what you do. He also put down another Conclave on the high ground, which he probably, I wasn't paying attention, but given that it's already done, was probably built when the Fiends were attacking it. Fiends are back, see, again, well positioned from msrm. Both players knowing this, the Fiends can come in and snipe this, but msrm ready to defend it. And again, put the Conclave on the high ground just in case that went down, not interrupting his build cycles. These Fiends wanting to get damage done, also trying to do the scouting. Boom. Very well done. Get both of those effigies there, which is just going to slow down this third base. And it looks like third base is up for Snoxtar. So he had a very interesting build. I think he went something different. Soon. He went Vault first to get those first Fiends out, but then with the scouting knowledge of the Fiends and being able to keep these units in their base threatening that Conclave, he's been able to go much heavier into the macro, built his third base, and only is now adding those extra buildings,
a Stormgate has appeared.
Upgrade buildings, and that might turn out to be an advantage for him. Never underestimate the power of the scout. When you have information about what your opponent is doing or what their army is, you can use it to your advantage. Now we have a fourth base from msrm. This is his strategy to try and get back in and try and make sure he has an advantage. Go for an extra base. Also, by positioning these units a little bit further ahead, you can maybe intercept the Fiends before they come back. But remember, there is this sort of back route that he could go in and snipe that base. How is that Conclave? It's back down to 200 after taking a little bit extra damage. Stormgate was captured by msrm, and what do we got there? Shadow Mark. Where are you going to drop it, old buddy? Like, maybe right here. Can you get all 5 of those buildings? That would be so dope. Army forward. I don't like how it's standing on the ramp there. But, ooh, yes, gets both fiends, so denies the scout. But the army of Snoxtar did get a scout, which was to see where msrm was, and he is moving back now. Shadow mark used up here. Captures the Twilight Spire in it. There's an engage going on down here. Fairly even-sized armies, slight supply lead for msrm, but that could be workers. Few workers going down here. Snoxtar deciding to pull back. Losing a gaunt there. Maybe gonna lose another one. Another one goes down. He turns his brutes to fight, which is what you should do. The brutes there were able to delay the rest of the units so his gaunts could get away. No Reaper's Rush yet on the gaunts, or they might have been able to speed away, and it looks like that's Reaper's Rush coming up as well as Demon Hoof Tremors. Also stun coming up for msrm. Now these tech buildings were up earlier for Snoxtar. Snoxtar now also has a 4th base. Ooh, catch this drop moving out. msrm with a slight lead, 20 lead in the supply. Like I said, could be imps. Although this base, okay, this base isn't saturated yet. Whereas msrm is at 2/3. We get a drop up here, brutes and gaunts. And imps going down, gremlins going down as well. I want to get the imps, they'll produce some phantoms, which you can use to kill more. Oh, did it die? I think it might have died. Nope, it teleported back. Okay.
A Stormgate has appeared.
Stormgate. That's the name of the game. Snoxtar rolls in. But msrm does want to come and contest this as well, and I think he's got a nice looking army here, even though his supply looks less. As I always say, don't do the tug of war. You want to fight army to army here. Really nice Magmadon stomps there. I like that, but also nice focus fire from msrm to get rid of them. But it does mean Void Prowlers for Snoxtar. Void Prowlers in the back, getting on top of the gaunts. Not only are they tanking, but they're also killing. And this is a wave of units that's going to definitely deny this base, if not continue forward, and make an end to msrm's game here. Denying bases definitely good for Snoxtar. Moving his units back into defensive positions, that's very brilliant. In case an army comes in to defend, he can just flank it. He kills those 2 bases and pulls back. Concerned about overcommitting, although has a tremendous lead now. Building his own extra base, 4th base here, 5th base, sorry. And just moving back to sit on his shroud and soak up some of the healing of that shroud. Grab one of these injured brutes. How fast are they healing up here? It depends on your tech level. And I'm trying to see if it's still as it was before. We are at Elder Shrine. We're producing a dragon. And Elder Shrine usually, it used to be 6 per second. That looks like 4 to 6. msrm's got his dragon out, and he's got a little base force here looking for bases. But Snoxtar's been able to position. He's got his shadow flyers ready. Trying to zoom in there and take out the dragon. Gaunts want to take out the shadow flyers, but Gaunts are in the front so that the brutes can get on them, and then the Megs get on the brutes. What a good unit interaction there. Shadow flyers, did they hit the dragon? Nope. But they are chasing this army all the way back.
Dimensional rift detected. A Stormgate will activate soon.
Magmadon stomps going forward. Oh, they get taken out as they get too deep in. Snoxtar's army is looking real strong here, and msrm has to retreat out. This base got re-put up, but it is going to go down real quick.
A Stormgate has appeared.
And Snoxtar decides, when you're ahead, get more ahead. Let's go win the Stormgate. Oh, some of his units, unfortunately, he maybe shouldn't have retreated here as he takes some pretty much free losses there. Going for this Stormgate. More Hellborn in the back. They're vulnerable. He does pull them back. Brutes turning to fight to defend those Hellborn. Magmadon stomps on top of those Brutes, taking out a number of them. And actually, msrm able to put some damage down on this army. Maybe that retreating to the Stormgate, which was to get more ahead, that's what I was saying, that failed. This got more behind. msrm doing alright here, although now as the reinforcements of Snoxtar show up, you know, can he hold on to this advantage? I think he's starting to lose it again as his army starts to get sacrificed. Now he's the one in retreat. And the Stormgate eventually looks like it's going to go to Snoxtar. It is tier 3 Stormgate. Deep one. Deep one. That's kind of what you want. When you're pushing into Infernal, which has a strong defender's advantage. Especially as Infernal. That deep one can stand in the back. Do that extra damage to heavy, which can really help you nuke down things like the Magmadons or the Hellborns if you're in an army-to-army fight. But also is really good for just killing buildings. Speaking of buildings, here's a base that goes down. We get a cancel there. Shadow Flyers. Yikes! Oh! Whoa, all the Spriggans go down there. Huge sacrifice. So many air units lost there. Things like that can help you get back in it. But the Spriggans did defend the dragon, and that's really what they were there for too. Here come the Shadow Flyers. Oh, so many going down with the dragon taking a few hits in there. That's going to be GG from msrm in game number 3. Back at it, game number 4. This game is being played out on Black Ice, which is another one of our map contest winners. But what's unique about this one, submitted by Guillotine, is that it is a 3-player or 3-spawn map. You have another spawn over here. It's not a 4-spawn map, it's not a 2-spawn map, it's a 3-spawn map, which is a hard thing to build because the symmetry tools that are in the map maker, I've only used it very slightly, allow you to make sort of diagonal symmetry or, you know, vertical or horizontal symmetry, but I don't think there's any settings for some kind of radial 3-way symmetry. So all the symmetry in this map, I think, was hand created by Guillotine, which means there's obviously some asymmetric parts of the map, which means there may be some balance issues. So I'm sure someone will find some way to be like, well, when you spawn in the bottom and it's, you know, whatever. But I think it's really cool. And I guess y'all thought it was really cool too, because you voted for it and it won. And is part of the competition today. So once again, congratulations to all our map designers, including those who submitted maps that were not selected. There's so many good maps out there, and you should play them. Play out your custom maps. Now, when it goes to mines, what's cool maybe about this, I haven't really cast a lot of games on this map before, is that of course it looks like there's this really nice natural, there's no trees, it would be nice to have some trees there. Because this is sort of a little pocket base that's out in the corner here. But they are the natural and the third, right? Your main, your natural, and your third. Same thing up here, main, you got your natural, you got your third. But then each base has this sort of forward high ground fourth. Okay, so we're into a macro game if we're up to our fourth base. But if we're playing that game and, you know, we're having a toe-to-toe battle, it starts to become about who's grabbing the extra bases over here and who can hold on to them. And I think that's really interesting. This is a case where
a Stormgate will
the distance between
soon.
these bases might be shorter than the distance on this side. I'm not sure. I haven't met. This one looks longer, right? But this one also has a ramp. Where this one? Where's the ramp? What's this? Ugly tank drop.
A Stormgate has appeared.
Thought we figured out in Wings of Liberty you should put stuff like that. I guess we are in the wild west times of Stormgate right now, so sometimes that means maybe we're gonna retest tank drops. Now is this the main? All the mains have tank drops. I don't like that. But let's see if that comes into play. What would that mean here? Hellborn drop? No, that doesn't seem super good. Maybe it would be. I don't know. We are playing in an Infernal Mirror where that kind of drop tech is less common. We have been seeing gaunt drops. Ah, I like this. So again, I was talking about this fourth base. It's also a forward base. And Snoxtar is able to be like, oh, you want to fight up my ramp? It's actually msrm's ramp. And what msrm should do is bring half his units in this way and trap Snoxtar in there. Instead, he's been giving Snoxtar kind of the advantage here. Why? Because Snoxtar has the Faerun who can heal. Come on, msrm, split your units for me. Oh, now you've got even more. You're letting the reinforcements get up there too. And then he loses the base. There were a couple ways that msrm could have handled that, but I mean, his way was kind of safe. He wasn't primed for some, you know, Hail Mary play like I was suggesting, like split your units. Split your units can be all or nothing, kind of. But he did allow Snoxtar to kind of just push his way up that ramp and remain up there. Get the kill on that base. And now the same thing's happening, although he's doing a good job. Here's the problem. Remember how I said there's no ramp, there's no trees over there? He's trapped. These units have got him trapped up here now. A Magmadon pops out. Another Magmadon pops out. That's that clutch Magmadon play. Wow, Defender's Advantage is mad. Faerun in the back starting to take fire. Gonna get focus fire down, but no, gets out in time. Can she get in the healing rays of the Wellspring? That would really help her out. She could get focused by those brutes in the back. But Snoxtar actually is deciding, I'm gonna retreat. I got that forward base, killed it. He didn't take his own base. He didn't go and try and take one of these bases. He was really pumping units there. Here comes some base.
Dimensional rift detected. A Stormgate will activate soon.
Now that Stormgate's super out of the position for both of them. I mean, it's closer to MSRM, but is he gonna abandon his defense to go fight that? I don't think so. This base goes down again, and immediately Snoxtar is like, nope.
A Stormgate has appeared.
I like how all these tribute pirates here really helped in the defense of this third base. I think that was really well done. And these third bases are traps. Like Snoxtar almost got trapped up in there. So you almost want your opponent to overcommit and come up there so you can trap them in there and kill their army. And there we go. msrm says fine. I can go get this by just sending some fiends. He probably didn't need to split 2 brutes, even though we're halfway done. Because we've got double DPS. A single brute shows up. Who wins this battle? I think the fiends. Yeah. So Snoxtar has got his 4th base up. Is he going to capture this in time? I think so. And once again, he's going to try and deny this. And finally, msrm. Okay, why are you going back down the ramp? You got to stay up there, my friend. Although he did cancel it. He just said, I'm not going to commit to that. Void Prowlers for msrm could put down some well-needed counter damage. I like how Snoxtar is bringing his army back, almost knowing, like, what's the most likely thing that's going to come out of that? It's going to be Void Prowlers. I better be ready for some harass on my imps. And immediately they come back and fight gremlins. But these are Void Prowlers that unfortunately are not being microed, or they're hard to micro back there too. When there's that many gremlins and such, you have to singly target and shift click on imps if you want them to kill imps. Snoxtar pushing it, really denying this 4th base for the 3rd, I think, time. But look at this, msrm finally being like, I get it. We're fighting over my base. My base is in the middle of our 2 bases. And even putting farms on the low ground for the same reason. So many farms on the high ground. And I think msrm is saying, go up there, go ahead. Run up my ramp. That was a curious lash. Somehow the Megalodon ended up on the high ground. Okay, so Snoxtar might be falling for the bait. He's moving up into the 3rd. msrm has a bunch of units here, but Snoxtar is not fully committing. He's like, I'll put half my units up there. They can murder. Imps come running through. A lot of them are going to die in the gauntlet. And now we have an engage on the low ground as msrm finally decides, I need to try and save my base. And it doesn't look like he's going to be able to. Almost all those tribute pyres down. msrm cornered back into his natural. The 3rd base is going to go down, but the army of Snoxtar is now going to go into the natural and start destroying it as well. This base goes down in no time. No time. msrm up on the high ground. There's nothing he can really do against this. He's got half the supply. Even with turning his imps to fight, even if he flames them on, I do not think he's going to be able to make this. But let's watch this. His army gets destroyed, unit by unit. Complete destruction. And that's got to be a GG for msrm.